Hello guys. This is a brand new series that I created. As in created, I mean one of my commenters told me to make this series, and this series is called What If Deku Was the Ultimate Hybrid. So, let's begin. So, in this world, well, mythical creatures like for example mermaids or banshees or ghosts and gods and goddesses actually live in harmony with humans, or at least well, some humans don't really like gods and goddesses and also other mythical creatures because, well, they prefer humans more than anything else. So, some humans decide to, well, go to an island known as Themyscira, where, well, humans that don't like monsters go there just because they hate them. And for god and goddesses, well, they stay in like, well, more populated countries like for example China, Japan, and the story that we're going to start in, well, America. So, Izuku is born in America with his father being a fallen angel. So, fallen angels in this series are basically, well, a type of demon which fallen angels, like for example Lucifer, well, they fallen from grace, and in well Izuku's father's case, well, he was fallen from heaven because, well, he was too, well, wrathful. That is why he was given the name, well, Nestema, meaning God's wrath. So, because of that, he was fallen from heaven. When he found Inko, which was a pure Japanese, he fell in love and made Izuku, but he was killed by, well, a certain terrorist group by the name of the Garden of Eden, or Project Eden for short. Project Eden is basically, well, I'm not gonna say it because, well, it's going to be, well, probably going to be, well, how do I say it? Um, Wait for a second. I'm probably not going to say it, but it's basically like this group back in World War II where they basically hated everybody, including other races. So, yeah. And also, by the way, they're German. So, I'm not going to say their actual name because I'm probably going to get, my video erased. So, yeah, I'm not going to say their actual name because, well, I'm going to get, well, destroyed by YouTube. So, yeah. So, because of that, well, Inko decided to, well, bring him to an orphanage because, well, she was, well, didn't want to have Izuku in the first place. So, Izuku was brought to several different families, two of which were a vampire family and a werewolf family. Two of those families turned Izuku into a vampire and a werewolf. So, Izuku is now a half werewolf, half vampire, half, well, fallen angel. But it didn't really work out. So, Izuku was still in the orphanage for quite a while. So, when Izuku became, well, wait for a second. When Izuku became 6, well, apparently somebody wanted to adopt him, but Izuku just think in his mind, he's probably just going to be another one. And when Izuku saw him, he's a man with, well, blonde hair. I meant blonde hair, I meant black hair. And pure purple eyes. As some of the patrons in the, well, orphanage are basically looking at him. And they started whispering. As, yes, my name is Pluto. I'm going to be your brand new father. As Izuku says, you're my father? As he says, yeah, kid. So, he is brought to Greece, where he's going to be living from now on. I meant Greece, I meant, Italy because, well, it's more, because Pluto is more like a Roman god. And if you don't know who's Pluto, well, it's the Roman version of Hades. But not only being a underworld god, he's also a god of riches, gold, diamonds, and shit like that. So Izuku was spoiled because he, Pluto and his wife Persephone were basically happy to have a second son. His stepson, as in stepson, I mean stepbrother, being, Zagreus. And if you don't know who's Zagreus, he was, a complicated god. So, Izuku and Zagreus were basically like brothers, basically having fun with each other. So, after a while, Pluto was, going to be moving away with the rest of his family, where they're going to be living in Tokyo, because he was going to have a business trip with a friend of his, and his name is Tsukuyomi, aka the god of the moon. And if you don't know who's Tsukuyomi, you probably don't see a lot of Japanese mythology. He is a god of the moon and also proper manners. So when they go to Japan, everybody's looking at them, including some other monsters, mostly Tengu, Oni, and other Japanese creatures, mostly yokai and kami. And if you don't know what are kami, they're basically another word for god. So they've been living in Japan for a while now, until Izuku decides to go back to, middle school. Izuku was, really popular in school because, he's the son of Pluto, aka, entrepreneur god, I guess. Pluto is more like a entrepreneur than a billionaire, but I guess they're kind of the same. And also, I, the person that told me to do this story, I'm gonna be changing a little bit of it. Just a little bit of it, okay? So, Izuku never met, Bako because, they're in different schools. And while Izuku's basically, talking to his friends, Izuku saw a girl being picked on by some, some yokai. Specifically, high-level yokai. They're basically saying, "You have really disgusting freak." They're basically bullying her. As Izuku says, "Hey, what are you doing with that girl?" As they look, they see, Izuku, as they say, "Oh, hey, Izuku, we were doing nothing." Izuku says, "Really? And why you were hurting that girl?" As they say, "Okay, let's run." As they start running away from the scene, Izuku sees the girl, and it's a girl with blonde hair and yellow eyes. She also has fox-like ears and 9 tails. Izuku says, "You're a kitsune." As she says, "Hello." She opens her mouth as Izuku sees that she has fangs. Izuku says, "Wait, you're half vampire?" And she says, "Oh, are you going to bully me? Because, people think that vampires are more than, blood-sucking freaks." Izuku says, "No, you're not a blood-sucking freak. I actually think you're beautiful." As she starts blushing, as she says, what did you say?" Izuku says, "I think you're beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're, any type of race. It's all about, being yourself, I guess." As she says, "Thank you." As Izuku says, "Here, I'll help you up." As she says, "Okay." So, she starts going off as she says, "Can I ask you, what is your name?" Izuku says, as Izuku says, "Yeah, my name is Izuku. What's yours?" As she says, "My name is Toga. See ya." So, they started going into their respective classes. So, it's been, a few years, and he's now, well, 15, and every girl is in love with him. But Izo- but Izuku's are in love with another girl, being, well, Toga. So, Toga and Izuku were basically like best friends, but Izuku has a bit of a crush on her. Just a little, just a little. So, yeah. So, the teacher comes up, and the teacher looks like a, well, a satyr. And if you don't know what they're satyrs, they're basically half goat, half men in Greek mythology. They're basically, well, alcoholics. They basically worship the god, well, Dionysus, which is Izuku's, brother-in-law. Because, well, apparently Zagreus, apparently, married him. And by the way, Zagreus is, well, a girl in this one. So, yeah. Even though I said he was like a stepbrother, I in some mythologies he's sometimes treated as a girl or a boy, so I'm just gonna call him a boy or a girl. I'm just gonna switch it around for now. So I'm just gonna call her it a girl. So yeah. So the teacher says, all right, everybody calm down. As they basically calm down, as Izuku's basically, well, sitting down properly. Some of the girls are basically looking at him. As the teacher says, alright, so apparently some of you, or at least one of you, is going to be going to, well, a certain high school known as, Half-Blood High. They basically asking to themselves, Half-Blood High? I heard it's pretty, it's a pretty prestigious, well, school. Only for, like, well, high-level monsters. And also high-level gods. Or at least, gods that are like, the sons or the daughters of gods. As the teacher says, alright, it seems that, Izuku Hades has decided to go there. As they basically start whispering, as they say, well, it's the son of, well, a greatest entrepreneur ever. As Izuku basically stands up and says, excuse me, sir, can I at least go to the bathroom? I really need to powder my nose. As he says, oh, sure, Mr. Izuku. As Izuku says, oh, okay, thank you. So, yeah. So, Izuku goes to the bathroom. As Izuku hears, well, another kid being bullied. As Izuku has to take care of it, Izuku sighs. Izuku sees a boy with, well, the boy has, a really weird, look to him. Wait for a second. So, the boy has black hair, but also has, well, red eyes a little bit. He also has, well, um, raccoon ears, or at least what he thinks is raccoon ears, and also a raccoon tail. The boys that were, basically giving him a swirly, basically saying, "Huh, you're damn disgusting freak. It makes you look like a freak." Yeah, says the other one. You damn tanuki. Asiku says, hey, what are you doing? As they say, oh no, I think we should run. They basically start running away as Izuku sees the boy, as he says, what the, thank you. As Izuku says, what happened? As he says, some bastard kitsune, they, they won't stop bullying me just because I'm a tanuki. Izuku says, wait, you're tanuki? As he says, yeah, my name is Kirishima. I'm the soon-to-become prince of the Tanuki tribe. As Izuku says, really? Huh, interesting. As he says, yeah. Ugh. Izuku says, don't worry, I'll bring you to the nurse's office. As he says, what's your name? Izuku says, My name is Izuku. As he says, wait, you're the son of Mr. Hades. As Izuku says, oh yeah, my father, Pluto. As he says, wow, it's an honor. I heard that you're pretty rich. As Izuku says, yeah, I am, well, pretty rich, but I prefer not to flaunt it all that much. And I don't really want to become, well, one of these, well, playboys. As he says, oh, okay. Uh, as Izuku brings him to the nurse's office, as the nurse is a cleric. As he says, oh, young boy, it seems that you gotten hurt. Let me guess, some kitsunes were fighting you, right? As he says, yeah, the whole kitsune and, well, tanuki war. It's still going on to this day. As Izuku says, oh yeah, that war. That whole prejudice thing. As he says, yeah. But don't worry, bro. I'm still pretty okay. So, after class, Izuku started going home with, well, Kirishima. As, well, Toga basically comes up to Izuku as Toga says, hey Izuku. She sees Kirishima as she says, oh, I didn't know that you're friends with the Tanuki. As Izuku says, Toga. As she says, oh, so, you're friends, right? As Izuku says, yes, but please don't bully him. Besides, he's already been bullied enough. As she says, oh, okay, just as long as you don't hurt me. So, Kirishima says, alright, I'll be going home now. As they see, well, a large, well, what do you call those? Wait for a second. A large chariot, and the horses are basically, well, have one eye. So there's two Tanuki basically, well, saying, hey, Master Kirishima, come in. As Kirishima says, oh, right. As they basically say goodbye. As, well, Toga, she starts transforming into a bat half, um, well, kitsune type creature as she starts flying away back home. And for Izuku, Izuku sees a chariot ridden by, well, one of the servants of Hades, or at least a fury, as she says, hello, Master Izuku. Izuku says, bring me back to the palace, as she says, right. So, they started going back to the palace in the underworld, where Izuku sees his cousin being, well, it's, wait for a second. His cousin, Perseus. As Perseus says, hey Izuku, it's been a long time. Izuku says, oh, hey Perseus. So, where's Zagreus? As Izuku sees Zagreus basically hanging out with his, well, boyfriend or girlfriend, depending on what I'm gonna be, what gender I'm gonna give him. Actually, you should all pick the gender for, Zagreus, either a boy or a girl. I don't have an idea yet, or if he's going to be a boy or a girl. So yeah. So he says, "Hey Izuku, so do you have a girlfriend yet?" Izuku says, "No, still pretty single." Wait for a second. As she or he says, "Oh, okay." As Dionysus says, "Hey Zuku, if you're looking for a girlfriend, maybe go into my party sometime. Maybe you'll find somebody to hook up." Zuku says, "No thanks. And besides, your last party almost caused well, your well, Zeus to almost destroy the entire West Coast." As she says, "Oh come on, that was fun." Izuku says, "I'll be going back to sleep." So Izuku sees Poseidon and Hades basically talking. As Izuku says, "Hello, father." As he says, "Ah, Izuku, it's been a long, time." As Poseidon says, "Ah, hello, my little nephew." And Izuku says, "Oh, hey Poseidon." As he says, "Don't call me Poseidon, just call me your uncle." Izuku says, "But we're not even blood related." As he says, "I don't care." He basically ruffles his hair as Izuku says, as he says, "Well, I got you a present." Izuku says, "Really?" So, Izuku was given a whip slash sword. As Izuku says, "What is this?" As he says, "Well, the Christian Pantheon decided to make you this weapon. It's basically a sword half whip. It's able to create, how do I say it? Wait for a second. It's able to create dark energy around the blade and transform into deadly slices." Izuku says, "Thank you, uncle." For Hades, he says, "Alright, I'm gonna give you your present. Here." Izuku says, "Whoa, it's a bow." As he says, "Yes, correct. This bow is able to harness your dark and plant magic, transforming it into an arrow." As Izuku says, "Thank you." As he says, "Alright, run back to bed. You're going to be preparing for the well the half blood entrance exam pretty soon." Izuku says, "Bye, Pops." As he says, "Bye, Izuku." So, Izuku goes to bed as he's completely excited to find those weapons, including a few new weapons which he created, or at least, his uncle Festus made. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!